Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Copper Owl, bringing you a video on Roaring Moon. I might post this on YouTube, I might not, because I don't think I really specified that my Pokemon Cryptozoology videos are supposed to be a series, one after the other, as I go over what the Paradox Pokemon might be. So, start off with, we're talking about Roaring Moon here. And this is probably the most important Paradox Pokemon there is, because it actually gives us a hint as to which time or reality or dimension or whatever Pokemon uses that Scarlet and Violet belongs to. And so, according to a dubious magazine, this Pokemon has a connection to a phenomenon that occurs in a certain region. What is that certain region? If I click it, it probably is going to say Kalos, but let's see. But yeah, it's essentially a Mega Salamence. So, let's see the certain region. Hoenn. Why Hoenn? Well, yeah, it's Kalos, Hoenn, both of the... Well, I guess because Mega Salamence is found in Hoenn, I guess that makes sense and all that. Because this Pokemon's pretty much a Mega Salamence. Just different. But this adds a weird question that was brought up in the previous video about Walking Wake, in that why don't they breed? Because keep in mind, Salamence can breed and become Bagons, but that means it regressively evolved. If all Roaring Moons are one type of Pokemon, because they're incapable of breeding, that would mean that they birth their own kind. So, they don't have a Bagon or Shelgon. Why is that? Because that means it would have had to evolve its children to become Bagon, Shelgon, and then Salamence. And keep in mind, this thing's in between the levels, the stat-wise of Salamence and Mega Salamence. If you look right here, well, let me guess this one. Essentially, you see the stats: 105, 139, 101, 119, 95, 135, 100, 110. So you see they're in the... It's slightly stronger, slightly bulkier, a bit weaker in some aspects, a little faster. Versus its Mega, which is just a little bit better in everything. So, it is in between these two. And that makes me wonder, like, why did it become weaker through evolution? Because evolution doesn't necessarily make you... It doesn't necessarily make you stronger. Taking part like a T-Rex becoming a chicken, which might not be true, but still. Even though the T-Rex was a formidable predator, a chicken probably does contribute more to the environment, being that it eats the bugs on the field and lays eggs that could be eaten by other creatures and all that, whereas a T-Rex would lay a large egg and so on and so forth. So it could be possible that environmental stuff happened to cause Roaring Moon to evolve the way it did. Unless we go with, because it looks so much like the Mega Evolution, we go with the theory I have that something transformed these Pokemon. That they're not actually prehistoric versions of themselves, they had just been transformed. And it's starting to become more and more kind of clear to me as we go on with the videos, like what it might actually have been. I don't know, because if we look at Mega Evolution and the origins of Mega Evolution, we learn that when it comes to Hoenn, it was the feudalism in Hoenn. Supposedly the Mega Stone came from a meteor. Okay, because meteor falls and all that. The Dragonoids during the long lost primal age of Hoenn, which would probably be like before the Greeks, like Sumerian, maybe. One of these disasters struck the region was numerous. Maybe Egyptian. Egyptian too could be a good. Creates meteor fall, meteor blah 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 blah. Not unlike the description of a keystone. Yeah. Okay. So, which attracted Rayquaza and led it to putting an end to disasters and restoring peace. Okay, there we go. So, he was brought here by a Megastone and all that. 1,000 years later, disaster befell the region once more. Most notable, a massive meteorite described with boundless brilliance and directly compared to a keystone that bore deep into the ocean and created what would eventually become the location Pseutopolis, with the impact cracking the ground and releasing a wave of primal energy causing ground. Okay. So yeah, 1,000 years from when the story takes place. So that would be, I assume the story takes place in the 2000s. So 1,000, and then it's like it's 1,000 years later. So that so this actually happened in like the year 1,000. That would have to have been like Middle Ages, before the Middle Ages. No, it could actually have been during. If you go with the theory that we're missing 300 years from our timeline, then it will probably have been in the time of Rome. Yeah, whatever. So, but it came from outer space. So, yeah. It releases their hidden energy and regular. So, if it's from outer space, we're going to assume that if the Paradox Pokemon are far back in time, they probably, like back with the fossil Pokemon, it could be possible that whatever wiped out the fossil Pokemon probably could have given the Paradox Pokemon their abilities. And it might only be isolated just to them. Because again, remember, Mega Evolution is regional. It's only Kalos and Hoenn. We know that it's regional now. So, that being said, because we still don't know what the Paradox Pokemon are. That being said, my theory has gone over that whatever changed them came from outer space. And it is localized to the location. But whatever it was, it might have been a form of Mega Evolution. That all of these, at least the past Paradox Pokemon have a form of Mega Evolution. We're still like trying to figure out everything else and all that, because that could explain why they don't breed and why there's no evolutionary lines for them because of that. So, but as we continue with the series, we're gonna see another Paradox Pokemon that has ties with outer space. But let me give you the strategies, because I always want to give you strategies. So Roaring Moon is very straightforward, high attack, high speed Pokemon, just go ham. This moveset right here with these stats, I just wanted to test out. I just wanted to show you what you would have to do in order for it to be faster and all that. So you could, if you want your photosynthesis to boost your speed rather than your attack, there you go. And this is just Dragon Dance set up a Dragon Dance. You got Crunch for Stab, Dragon Claw, Acrobatics, because you're using up a booster energy, so Acrobatics gets this thing. You can run Earthquake if you want. Very straightforward. Roaring Moon is a very straightforward Pokemon. I do have a little gimmicky set, though, where you use Scale Shot. And keep in mind, it's a 90, and you minus your defense, which is already low to begin with, but you get 1 plus in speed. So you're going to hit it 5 times, being 125 damage on all that. And I and go with a Sunlight, so you have the attack boost and all that. So there you go. It's just gimmicky and all that. Just yeah. But what counters it? I want to say Flutter Mane, because Flutter Mane gets it. This thing's times 4 weak to Fairy, so yeah, Flutter Mane is pretty pretty much it. And also, like, F Smogon for banning Fluttermane. The thing's freaking frail. Bullet Punch could take this thing out. This is why I don't play Smogon. It's like, this thing beats this thing. This thing shouldn't be popular. I gotta be honest with y'all guys, I hate Salamence. It's one of those Pokemon that I could train to perfection, and it never wins for me. It never works for me on all that. And I've never lost to a Salamence, except in the game with the freaking Terror Raid. But I've never lost to an opponent that was using Salamence, whether it be Mega Salamence, and I've not faced a Roaring Moon yet. Anyway, probably because I wouldn't care about using Fluttermane. So, yeah. So there you go. Fluttermane is just booster energy, all of these attacks, and max out your speed with the Timid Nature so you could outspeed it. There you go. And all that. And another one is Dondozo. And everything. Just max defense, max HP, put the rest into attack. And Relax Nature, Curse, Order Up, Liquidation, Body Press, Leftovers. Very straightforward Pokemon, very straightforward way to beat it. Azumarill and all that. You just gotta not get knocked out and you just gotta hit it. Okay? Well, thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for next time. And the next video I'll be posting will be a political rant. And after that, we're going to go back into the Pokemon Cryptozoology. Thank you all very much. You all have a nice day. Bye-bye. I need to learn how to use hockey.